I'm going to show you my earnings from this previous week. So this is what we call Samsung Dex. It is connected to my phone, which allows me to project the apps and things on my phone onto the screen. I don't want you guys thinking I faked this or photoshopped it because this looks weird. I'll show you proof first. We'll go to Uber. We'll go to my weekly summary. We'll go to last week. So with Uber, I only made $75. I technically only drove one day. It says Thursday, but I started at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the time the Uber day starts. So I'm assuming that the ride that got caught for Thursday originated Thursday, like maybe at like 3:50, but I actually picked it up on Friday. So in total, I made like 70. What was that total? Weekly. Weekly summary. 75.43 with Uber. Nothing to brag about, but I want to show you guys everything. This is my first time driving in a while. And then we go over here to Lyft. Go down to that's the weekly breakdown. We want the weekly summary. See all activity, weekly breakdown. That's what we want. And then you can see I made $556.75 with Lyft. I drove 14 hours and 42 minutes. Book time was 12 hours and 34 minutes with 43 rides. You can see my tip, $79.38. Pretty good. What is that? More than 10%? Shoot, almost 20%. That's not bad. A little less than 20%. Doing some mental math in my head. But what does that break down to? So I have my spreadsheet that I made, and it's pretty good. It breaks down everything for me. I'm messing things up. No, all right, there we go. But I haven't even really learned how to navigate this thing, like in perfection yet. So first we can look at my miles. So I drove Friday, Saturday. So I do want to point out this, like you see how it says personal business, personal business. If you don't do this and you get audited by the IRS, they will invalidate your mileage. Like they want to make sure that. So all right, here's a scenario. I leave my house, right? When I drive from my house to pick up a passenger, the IRS considers that as personal mileage. I disagree, but I'm not the one that makes the rules and I don't want to get in trouble. So, I have to abide by them. This is one of the main reasons I made this spreadsheet. So I always calculate from my house to my starting point or to the pickup location. If I'm driving downtown, I'll calculate from my house to downtown. Then I'll turn my app on and I'll do my mileage. So you can see my personal here. And then at the top, it separates business miles from personal miles. So I just put in whatever I see at my odometer. And then, I just check it off as I go. So then over here, right, you can see where down here I put in my daily earnings. Also my daily expenses over here. Zoom in a little. You can see I spent $2 on air. One of my tires needed some air. And then I spent $32.27 on gas. Now, I haven't refilled my tank since I drove, so there's still some more gas that should be added in here, but I'll have to wait till I obviously go buy that gas. But you can see that with the $32.27, I made total of $621 between Uber and Lyft. It pulls up the total from the bottom, and then it totals it up here. So 17 hours, 36 minutes in total, $35.28 total. Now, I don't want you to think that I can make $35 every single day in my market. Keep in mind, I will work on the busiest days of the week. So don't think I'm out here balling just because of that. If you live and I'm in the mid cap market, I live in Charleston. So this is what it is, a little slower than usual. But even with that being said, I'm pretty happy with that. You can see my mileage. I drove 493 business miles. This is just business miles. So my per mile rate is calculated based off of business miles as well. And then you have my expenses. This is the total. So far I spent $35.27 this month on expenses. And this is my per hour. So I made it so that it calculates how much I spend for every hour I'm working. So it's $2. We can subtract it from the $35.28 to get our net, which would be, I'm averaging $33.28 after expenses, but there's still more expenses to be added. I have to add my car payment, things like that as they come in. So as they come in, it'll become more accurate at the end of the month. And then you can see my per mile. So for every mile I drive so far, my expenses are 7 cents per mile. So then I would just subtract it from this, and then that would be my net per mile. So pretty good spreadsheet. At some point, I'm going to add taxes to it. And if you want it, it's in the pin linked. It's through my Patreon. You can support me for 1 month for $5, get it, download it, and then stop supporting me. Or you can continue to support me. I will have other like spreadsheets like this coming out in the future. Eventually, I want to turn this into its own app, but that'll be further down the line. But any contributions will go towards making this better. It won't actually go towards any of my personal bills. When I become debt free, I want to be able to say I did it with 100% rideshare and none of my YouTube money or Patreon money. So just so you know, whatever you invest into me is going to be coming back to you as a creator subscriber relationship. So hope you guys enjoy that. And we are going to start diving into the podcast topics.